member of SPECTRE.
SPECTRE?
SPECTRE. Special Executive for Counterintelligence, Terrorism, Revenge, Extortion. The four great cornerstones of power, headed by the greatest brains in the world.
World domination. Same old dream.
The story for SPECTRE is Bond stumbles upon an international organization bent on basically controlling the world. That's basically to put it lightly. I have to admit, Skyfall is like the best Bond movie of all time that's been around for years. I mean, seriously, the new ones, Skyfall was the best. SPECTRE would be the second best, if not just as good as Skyfall. It depends on the person you talk to. To me, the fanboy in me thinks it's just as good as Skyfall. The critic in me, the hobbying critic in me, thinks it's not as good. It's like just almost there. But to talk about it a little bit, because I don't want to give out any spoilers, I just want to say that the acting performance is great. This locations, classic Bond is just beautiful. Gorgeous locations, beautiful everywhere, beautiful sets. Everything's just amazing, realistic, great. The Mexico City opening, oh my god, the costumes and everything. I don't know if that was actually just something that that was going on at the time, or something that was actually planned for the movie. Like, they planned it in advance, like, this is what it's going to look like, and this and that, and worked with the people, or that was something that people usually do every year, and therefore worked with the movie. I don't know. But either way, it just looked amazing. I can't believe they got that many people to put on the mask, the makeup, the costumes, everything. Oh my god, it was just amazing and beautiful. I couldn't believe it. The action sequences are very well done. I mean, the chopper scene at the beginning of the movie, I was surprised they put that at the beginning of the movie. But it really set the standard of what to expect for the movie. I mean, my goodness, it really told you, okay, after that opening sequence, after that chopper fight, you basically were going to be blown away through the rest of the movie. And you pretty much are blown away throughout the rest of the movie. I mean, it's amazing. All the action sequences are just great, but that chopper scene was just tense and amazing. The story is actually good, too. It runs a little slow, I will admit, at times. It's kind of understandably slow, but at the same time, it still quickens up because of the action. But the story was interesting. It was really good. This movie introduces Blofeld. Let's face it, we all knew. It's not really a spoiler if you're a Bond fan to know that Christoph Waltz is Ernst Stavro Blofeld. I mean, you really don't have to be a Bond fan to know that. And it was a foregone conclusion. But Blofeld is really good. Seriously, you can't really complain with Christoph Waltz. You could just put Christoph Waltz in a movie as a villain or a hero and go, sold, don't need to worry about anything. So, amazing job by Christopher Waltz. Daniel Craig, of course, is amazing. Ralph Fiennes as M has really solidified his role with this movie. With the last movie, as you know, he only became M at the very end of the movie. Well, he solidifies his place as M. It's like, he is M now. You don't need to think, oh, he's just trying out his shoes now, he's trying to fit in. No, he is M. M. This is it. I mean, you don't need to say anything, oh, give him another movie, maybe he'll be M. No, he is M. That's it. It was beautiful. He was beautifully performed, and I love that Ralph Fiennes is still playing this role. Ben Whishaw returns as Q, which is amazing. He's great, and of course, Moneypenny returns. Everybody is playing the role very well. Moneypenny, there's not really as much flirtation between Bond and Moneypenny as there was in the classic times of Bond, but I'm pretty sure we'll be getting there over time. This one was more of a serious movie, very serious movie, so there wasn't really much humor in there. There was some humor, but not a lot. The story arc, the characters are very good. There's actually two different plot lines. There's the main plot line with Bond chasing after Spectre, and there's another plot line with M with the politics of everything, because the government wants to get rid of the 00 section, and as well putting a new system that's basically Orwell's greatest nightmare, which is surveillance everywhere. And that was an interesting plot, and seeing them all come together at the end. It was very well thought out and planned. We also have a great character arc with Bond. Bond has an interesting character arc because when he meets the main female for this movie, she kind of makes him think, I can get out of this world. I don't have to continue doing this all the time. I can actually do something more. So it's an interesting little tension and conflict with his character and all that. So it's pretty good. The way they made Spectre tie up with Bond's past and childhood was an interesting idea, Granted, I didn't think it was necessary. It kind of made Blofeld and Bond too personal together. But at the same time, I thought it was cool, although you have to admit it kind of seemed like they pulled an Austin Powers with that one. Uh, but in the end, when you think about it, he's like, you know what? That was okay. That was okay. You know, you can give it to them. It's not something that deteriorated the movie or the history of Bond and Spectre and Blofeld. So it was something he's like, you know what? You can have that one. But everything was beautifully well done. And we just recently found out that the very big explosion at the end of the movie broke Guinness World Records. I mean, they got a Guinness World Record for biggest explosion in a movie. Congratulations to the Bond people. That is amazing. I don't think there's really anything else I can really describe because everything was just really well done. The fanboy in me gives this 5 stars out of 5, but the critic in me gives this 4.5 stars. I think it was just because the tone of this movie, I mean, it kind of felt a little different, and it did, I can't really explain to me. You have to watch the movie to kind of understand, but it kind of had a different tone to it, a different mood to it. It kind of felt like it was, didn't really feel like a Bond film at times. It was just, I don't know, just, I can't really describe it. I mean, I guess because the fanboy in me is trying to say, no, it's perfect, it's perfect, it's perfect, it's perfect. So, but the critic in me, for some reason, will say it's 4.5 stars. But overall, I will give it 5 stars out of 5, just to unconfuse everything. Just say 5 stars out of 5 because it is very well done. I understand some people don't really like it, some people do. You know, it just depends on the mood. But some people say there's too much action. Some people say it was just fine. It's just to what your taste is. But to me, as a hardcore Bond fan, I enjoyed it. I understand Daniel Craig has one more movie as Bond, and I'd like to see that, and hopefully the person after Daniel Craig will do a good job as well. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see more Bond films like this. I hope to see more of Spectre and Blofeld. Oh, that's one thing I want to forget. I didn't want to forget. In this movie, they didn't actually describe what Spectre meant. It was no longer an anagram. In the original series, as an anagram that stood for Special Executive for Counterintelligence, Revenge, and Extortion. That they didn't do that with this movie because of a lawsuit. Back in the day, Ian Fleming wanted, and another guy were going to make a movie of Bond. This was before Albert Barclay and Harry Saltzman got the rights to the books. And they came up with the original idea, and it just didn't go anywhere. But Ian Fleming took the storyline and said, I'll make this into a novel, and it was Thunderball. Well, the guy got pissed about that and sued Ian Fleming, and eventually out of court, Ian Fleming said, okay, I'll hold the literary rights to Spectre and all that. You hold the film rights, or something like that, or whatever. So, but in the original film, Spectre is in there, because they were in the books, but recent years, the lawsuit kind of got big. I mean, they even sued the original guy actually sued the movies a couple times. It's just got everywhere. It's only recently that lawsuit finally dissolved, and now they can use Spectre to put back into the continuity of the Bond franchise. Because if you remember, in the Casino Royale and Quantum of Solace, there was a new kind of thing called Quantum, Quantum Organization. And that was because they couldn't use Spectre at the time, although we all assumed they were leaning up to Spectre anyway, and they kind of were. So hopefully, so thankfully they were able to get Spectre, and it's no longer an anagram, it's just a name. So, which is kind of sad, but at the same time, you know what? That anagram kind of seemed kind of more for the time period of the 60s. Nowadays, if you kind of think about it, that the anagram doesn't really mean much. I mean, counterintelligence and revenge and extortion is just kind of seems kind of low grade for a big organization. So it's kind of understandable they didn't make an anagram, but at least they got to keep the name and the symbol. So that's all great. So just a little fact there I wanted to point out. So if you actually want to know more information, you can actually do research on this Spectre on Wikipedia, and of course, and the Wikipedia page for the movie of Spectre. So you could get more information about that. So, all right, thank you for watching, and have a nice day.